I'm now standing on the top of the 6th terrace and showing the view overlooking all of the terraces. And as you can see, it's a natural amphitheatre with the ridge on the west boundary, and on the eastern boundary you have the mountain with the forest behind. This is the furthest south boundary, and beyond that is derelict land, which used to be an almond terrace but has fallen into disuse. Walking now to the western boundary and the ridge. You can see where I'm walking now is in shadow, and we're just coming out to sun. The sun has been above the horizon for quite some time, probably an hour or so, but we're still in shadow, and that'll remain in parts of this terrace group for some time. This is the western boundary of the land, which is the top of the ridge, and you can see the land falls away quite steeply, and again it's derelict land. Used to be almond terraces but is now no longer used. In the far distance you can see the Hondon Valley with the mountains behind, and if I turn around you get a better view of the Sierra Crevillente and the pine forest, which is abutting to the new land. I'm now looking at the middle terraces. As you can see, it's got a pine tree and also an olive, and on the right hand side this is a mature carob tree. Again you can see in the distance the top of the mountain. Moving down, I'm now looking at the second terrace, which is in shadow. And this is now the bottom terrace. Again, it's currently in shadow. Behind this terrace you could see the start of the land, the Shangri-La land, and the feature of the Shangri-La land is the storm drain, the open storm drain that dissects the new land and the Shangri-La land. This storm drain takes water, stormwater, from behind the Shangri-La house, off the mountain, and directs it through this storm drain and out onto the lowest of the Shangri-La land. On this terrace level you have in front of you this mature oak, one of very few remaining in the area. I don't know how old it is, but it's a marvellous specimen. Walking down to the bottom terraces of the new land, I'll just take a detour left so you can see a panorama. As you can see now, this is in full sun, and the sun is actually quite high above the horizon, relatively. In the distance you see the almonds of the Shangri-La land coming through to the olive trees, which are an approximate boundary of the new land to the east, and panning across. The new land includes the terrace I'm standing on, plus 2 further terraces below. Walking now to the western boundary, this is delimited by these 2 olive trees, one of which is my neighbour and the other is belongs to the new land. Again, you can see there's no boundary fencing or anything between the 2 parcels of land, and you can see that it's got some old dead almonds. You could see the land falling away, and it goes round the hill ridge, which is approximately there. So it goes round that ridge to the left. What you've now got is a good view of the valley road going down to, the mountain road going down into the valley, and all of that is cultivated at the moment. Opposite you've got a little hill which is uncultivated, and below the Shangri-La land you got further land which is owned by a neighbour. I think it's 2 or 3 terraces deep. Then you're onto the Shangri-La land. The project initially is to design a reforestation scheme which can then be implemented for the new land with a view to incorporating the Shangri-La land at some future date. This may also apply to the neighbours' land. There's two neighbours on the western boundary, one at the top of the terracing and one that I've just explained a moment ago. Now, both of those pieces of land are derelict, and if combined in a reforesting scheme could be extremely worthwhile to stop the encroachment of the pines any further down. There are areas on this forest where the terraces have been neglected to an extent where the pine forest has actually reforested onto the terraces and absorbed them. Unfortunately, this gives a monoculture and removes a significant amount, or restricts to a significant amount, the biodiversity within the forest area as a whole. So that explains the land, and from that, together with the report, people should be able to have an idea of what we're actually looking at.